Ever wondered what's better, a single lens camera, a dual lens camera, or a triple lens camera? Well, we're about to find out. So welcome back to What Gear Reviews, and today I'm going to be comparing the Sony XZ2 with one lens versus the Oneplus 6 with two lenses, and the Huawei P20 Pro, which has three lenses. And the question is, can you guys tell the difference? And I'm going to make this one a little bit more interactive for you guys, because I'm not actually going to tell you which photo is which until the very end of the video. And throughout this video I'm going to put little polls up in the top right corner so you can actually vote on which one you think is which. And you know, seeing is believing, and I think some people have brand loyalty to certain brands like OnePlus, Sony, Huawei, and sometimes that can affect your opinion on the photo. So in this comparison, this What Gear compare and contrast video, you're not going to know until the very end, and then we'll see the real results. And I just want to say, before I start taking photos now, if you're finding me for the first time, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe, turn on that bell notification so you don't miss more videos like this in the future. And also, if you have any suggestions for me or comments for me, leave them below this video and I'll do my very best to reply to all of them. So anyway, let's kick this off with some photos. So let's kick this off with a rear facing camera test, and this is random camera number 1, and this is going to be a real test for you guys to see how well you know your camera phones. Are more or less camera lenses best, or are they more or less the same? Well, we're about to find out. So this first shot on camera 1, you can see quite high contrast here, good detail on the dog, good detail on the ground. Even the tree on the right hand side of the photo has pretty good detail, and good detail in the cloud in the sky as well. If we look at random camera number 2, you can see it's a completely different kind of picture. The oranges and the greens are much more brighter. It does seem to be sacrificing some detail up there in the clouds. The tree on the right hand side has pretty good detail, but there's a bit of blurring around some of the branches. But take a look at that forest on the left hand side when you compare it to the next photo on random camera number 3. So you can see in this photo it's a lot darker than the other two, but maybe arguably more detail there in the dog, more detail in the foreground, and maybe a more natural photo. So here's all three side by side, camera 1, camera 2 and camera 3. Now take a guess, which one of these do you think has 3 lenses, which one has 2 lenses, and which one is the single lens smartphone camera? If I was to pick my favorite photo here, I'd probably have to say number 3, but let me know in the comments below which one has done a better job of photo number 1 with the rear facing cameras. So now let's move on to the selfie cams. So this is shot on random camera number 1, and you can see my face looks super smooth here. This has taken a few years off my age for sure, but I think it's sacrificed some detail there on the dog. The dog's fur almost looks white in this picture. There's a bit of blurring around the grass. There's good detail in the background, and if we look at the same picture shot from the same place, same time of day, everything on camera number 2, you can see here, once again my face looks pretty smooth, and that makes me happy. But a bit more detail there on the dog as well. But you're seeing the whites really blowing out the detail at the top of the photo there in the trees, and the grass behind the dog actually looks almost furry and soft and blurry. So it is a nice photo, but I'm not sure compared to photo 1 whether I prefer this one. I think I might do. And if we look at camera number 3, you can see the sharpness there is completely different. The amount of detail behind us and on the grass and on the dog just overall looks much more natural. There's no smoothing going on my face here, and I don't know if that's a good thing. But it's not about what I think, it's about what you guys think. How do you think the 3 cameras have done here on the selfie camera test? Leave that in the comments below, and let's move on to the next section, which is a quick focus test. Now this is me physically moving the camera towards a tree and seeing which one will actually focus on the tree first. And all of them are really quick, but when it comes to the stabilization side of things here, that center camera number 2 seems to be doing the best job. And now onto the rear camera stabilization test. I'm just walking here on pretty uneven ground with all 3 cameras side by side, and you can see here the camera on the right just seems to have the most shake. The one in the center seems to be holding the stability better, and camera 1 seems to have the brightest video. So let me know which one won the stability test here. I'm kind of leaning towards camera number 2. Alright, so what do you guys think so far? in the top right corner right now, there's a little poll for you guys to answer, and this will actually serve as a really good audio and front-facing selfie video camera test. So base the front-facing video camera off the audio and also the colors. How's this handling the light conditions right now? It's not very bright, to be honest. Which one of these cameras is filming the best selfie video right now? Which one has the best audio right now? Leave that in the comments below and let's crack on and take some more photos for you guys. So let's move on to a color test. So here's a photo I took of this post which had red paint on it. I couldn't find much other colorful stuff, unfortunately, but you can see here the difference between the three cameras. Camera 1 seems to have maybe the deepest red color. The center camera, number 2, seems to have the most vivid colors, and you can see the level of contrast there on the wood in comparison. And then camera 3 seems to have a more natural kind of feel to it. This is a really close one for me. I don't know which one's actually won this. Let me know which camera has done the best job of color reproduction on the rear facing cameras. So I was looking for more colorful things to take photos of, and this is all I could find. This little flower, and you can see here the difference between the three cameras. Camera 1 seems to have the brightest picture and a good level of color there on that pink flower, and camera 2 seems to have done a really good job of picking up those deep green colors there, and there's quite a bit of blurring going on in the background as well, which adds a nice effect to the photo. And then camera 3, in my opinion, is picking out maybe the most accurate colors of the flower. Now if we zoom in on that flower itself, which is the subject of this photo, let's see which one picked up the most detail. So camera 1, a bit of blurring going on there, seems to have really picked up more detail on the branches than the flower itself. Camera 2 seems to have lost a lot of detail around the flower, but again picking up a lot of detail on the branches. And then camera 3 seems to have really pinpointed that. You're getting a really detailed picture of the flower and you're also getting that detail on the branches. So in my opinion, camera 3 won this one. But the question is, how many lenses does camera 3 have? Take a guess now and leave it in the comments below. And now let's move on to a slow motion video test. I've taken the audio off all three cameras, so you're just going to see the video footage. But let's start with camera 1. Now camera 2. And now camera 3. So it wasn't the nicest day that I've ever seen here in London, and it was quite grey, but I took this picture of the field because I wanted to show you guys how well these zoom in. So this is all shot on the primary lens and then zoomed in using the manual zoom on each camera phone. So at maximum zoom, you can see that tree at the back there on the right with no leaves on it. If you use that as your point of reference for each one of these, you'll see the difference that each camera has when it comes to long distance photos. So here's a photo I took to test out how the phones handle that strong backlight through the trees. So it was really quite bright behind those trees there, and it was quite dark where we were standing. So you can see here, this is a really nice photo. The dog is definitely in focus here. The brightness behind the trees isn't blurring the photo too much. Then on camera 2, you can see there in the foreground is much darker, and the brightness behind the trees maybe is affecting this photo just a bit. And then on camera 3, you can see the brightness has blown out a lot of detail across the field that wasn't there on the other two photos, but where we're standing seems quite bright as well. So even though it's quite shaded and dark, you're getting a good photo of the dog in the foreground and also good detail on the ground right in front of me. So believe it or not, this is actually a low light photo test. I tried my best to find a dark spot of the woods to take a photo of this Sony RX100 Mark VI, which was actually what I used to film the intro of this video and the outro. So you can see there, camera 1, you're getting this really bright photo. You can clearly see the markings around the lens on the RX100. Camera 2 seems to have the darkest kind of color on the actual camera itself. Maybe it's sacrificing a bit of the details there around the lens, and it's also significantly blurring the background there below the camera. And then on camera 3, you've got good amount of detail there, good amount of detail on the lens. The blacks are quite deep as well, much deeper than camera 1, for example. I'm not sure which one I like the best here. Maybe camera 1, but maybe camera 3, I don't know. If you were to look at these 3 photos right now and say, right, that's the one with 3 lenses, which one would you say that is? And you can answer that question in the poll in the top right corner. And this last photo rounds off the comparison video. I've tried to keep it as short as possible, and you're about to find out now which one is which. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you leave a comment below this video, subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and if you want to check out another video similar to this, which I made recently when I was on holiday, the RX100 versus the Huawei P20 Pro, that should be at the end of this video. Hit that thumbnail, check that one out, it's pretty cool, and it's an interesting result as well at the end. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next one. So be late.